Chapter 3: The End of the Blocking and Tackling Era. We are all fine-tuning stock machinery. I'll jump straight to the punchline. The blocking and tackling era in sales and marketing is over. But what the hell does that even mean? Reads Wikipedia. Blocking and tackling is a frequently used idiom in business. It's a reference to American football. The players on the field who do the blocking and the tackling have the least glamorous positions, but their often unheralded efforts are critical to the success of the team. And so, in business, blocking and tackling is meant to refer to the basic and fundamental people, processes, and technologies critical to the operation of the company. In the context of sales and marketing, blocking and tackling refers to the basic and fundamental building blocks we've all come to expect in a tech company. Everyone should have a go-to-market strategy. Everyone should have a marketing model. Everyone should have a sales process, a message framework, an ICP, digital marketers, SDRs, a MarTech stack, a sales tech stack, a demand generation strategy, paid media program, public relations, analyst relations, social media. Ironically, for the last decade or so, blocking and tackling has been celebrated as anything but. In other words, most companies have come to perceive their blocking and tackling as their primary go-to-market advantage rather than the quiet work that creates a foundation for go-to-market advantage. I want to be very clear on this point. Blocking and tackling is absolutely critical, but it no longer creates an advantage. The playbook. In the old days, which most of us are still living in, the prevailing perception was that excellence in sales and marketing flowed from a precisely implemented playbook that was constantly optimized. Define the models and processes, inbound marketing, outbound sales, MQLs and SQLs, conversion rates, Salesforce, marketing automation, digital marketing. Back then, simply having such a playbook was an advantage. Hot shots arrived at companies with their playbooks tucked under their arms, ready to demystify the increasingly complex world of tech sales and marketing. These were the original adopters of the modern sales and marketing tech stacks, and they were pioneers on the digital frontier. They knew ways and means that other people did not, and when their beautiful, secretive machines were up and running, they crushed the competition with brute force execution. I know, because I was one of them. Later, when nearly everyone had implemented the core elements of the playbook, advantage could be maintained by going deeper. I see your HubSpot and raise you an outreach. Your inbound campaigns are cute, but check out my ABM strategy. You're still using BANT questions in the sales process? Let me tell you about purchase intent data. At some point, the perceived quality of our sales and marketing efforts boiled down to the acronyms we used and the number of sales and marketing tech solutions we owned. I frequently meet with companies who have more than 40 sales and MarTech solutions. And after careful scrutiny, it turns out the company is paying for many more solutions that aren't even used anymore because they've been forgotten. These days, everyone has everything. They have the people and the processes and more technology than they know what to do with. They are constantly searching for the next addition to their blocking and tackling machines that will produce even a small advantage. Ask a sales leader about Gong, or a marketing leader about ChatGPT, and watch their eyes light up. In the era of blocking and tackling, our mantra has become performance optimization. A little tweak to our process here, a little new tech there, shave a couple of steps off this click path, add a point to that conversion rate, replace a few SDRs, tighten up the ad groups. But I'm here to tell you, once more, that the road to hell is paved with performance optimizations. We have reached the point of diminishing returns. We spend more money and more time each year trying to eke out increasingly smaller performance improvements. Meanwhile, costs keep going up and performance keeps going down. In most cases, people aren't asking for innovative go-to-market strategies. They just want more budget to make their existing strategies perform marginally better. Question the model. What I find interesting is that all of us are obsessed with improving every aspect of our models, but very few of us are equally obsessed with questioning the models themselves. You know what I mean? I'll elaborate with the following example. I recently worked with a company to improve their sales and marketing results. Like most companies, they were constantly searching for competitive advantage through performance optimizations to their existing blocking and tackling. In this particular case, they were obsessed with improving their sales conversion rate, which had been in decline for the last year or so. They had come to the conclusion that part of the solution could be found in using purchase intent data to evaluate and prioritize sales opportunities. In fact, the company had recently doubled down on purchase intent by implementing and integrating a popular account-based marketing (ABM) system from a MarTech vendor known to be a leader in the field of purchase intent solutions. Like all of these systems, this one promises to alert your sales team when a target account tilts into active buyer behavior. Let's evaluate the assumptions inherent in this initiative. First, the company assumed that the primary and best use of sales effort was in the pursuit of qualified contacts in target accounts that were actively evaluating solutions in their category. Second, the company assumed that any process or solution that provides more accurate and timely data about the purchase intent in target accounts would deliver a competitive advantage. Both of these assumptions were rooted in the conventional wisdom of performance optimization within the prevailing blocking and tackling models of sales and marketing. But here's an interesting thing that happened. I was reviewing win-loss data with this company. As they were going through the list of competitors they lose to most often, I heard something that struck me as odd. They were losing a lot of deals to one particular competitor in a volume that didn't track with market dynamics. The competitor they were losing to most was the market leader in their category. No surprise there. New segment revenue most often gets distributed along the lines of existing market share. In other words, if there are 100 deals closed in your category this month, about 30 of those deals will go to the company with 30% market share. 15 deals will go to the company with 15% market share, and so on. That's true, by the way. Market share order rarely shifts between companies once the market is firmly established. And when it does, it happens slowly and by degrees. It's part and parcel of the primary issue with blocking and tackling as a strategy. If everyone is doing the same things as everyone else, why would market share order change? But the competitor they were losing to second most, and almost as frequently, was a smaller bootstrap vendor with only a sliver of market share. Why was this happening? Conventional wisdom would have classified this bootstrapped competitor as a major threat, and in fact, that's exactly what happened. The company was so threatened by the small, bootstrapped competitor, who, by the way, has been around for forever and has been slowly losing market share for years, that they mobilized a team to pore over the competitor's sales, marketing, and product strategy. They spun up endless sales enablement tools aimed squarely at this competitor. Their fear of the competitor even caused them to make significant changes to things like their brand message and website. But in this case, conventional wisdom was wrong. This laggard competitor wasn't winning a disproportionate share of deals because of their inherent competitive power. They weren't surging in market share. The threat was caused by the company's own misguided attempts to optimize the performance of their blocking and tackling. Here's what was really happening. The company had an outbound sales model. They had tuned their model to purchase intent. Thus, they were constantly looking for any optimization that would provide them with a purchase intent advantage. In their quest for a competitive advantage in this area, they bought what they believed to be the best purchase intent-driven ABM solution available. The problem is that the little bootstrap competitor had purchased the same system. Therefore, the two companies were being notified about purchase intent in the same target accounts at the same time, resulting in an artificially high occurrence of bake-offs. And more head-to-head battles with the same competitor relative to others meant more losses to that competitor. This absurd scenario was generating a distorted signal about the overall market significance of the bootstrap competitor. And based on that distorted signal, the company had made all kinds of upstream and downstream tweaks to their blocking and tackling aimed directly at a company that should have otherwise been considered a minor threat. The company started this journey into madness because they were suffering from a declining close rate in sales. They thought they could fix that problem by optimizing their existing sales process with even better purchase intent data. But they were actually making it worse by narrowing their focus on the same target accounts as at least one of their competitors, and probably more. So back to my point, instead of obsessing over optimizations to a model that everyone else is using, why weren't they questioning the model itself? As they continued to pursue more timely and accurate purchase intent data with no improvements to close rates, why didn't they stop to ask if purchase intent was a good organizing principle for their sales outreach to begin with? Simply put, it's because purchase intent data has become a generally accepted page in the blocking and tackling playbook. The better solution, which the company has now implemented, resulting in a positive impact on sales conversion, was to back off of purchase intent as the organizing principle for sales outreach. Instead, the company now prioritizes sales outreach based on the combined presence of engagement and purchase intent. When both components are not present, the company prioritizes engagement over purchase intent, because in target accounts that signal purchase intent but that have no engagement with your company, it's very likely that one of your competitors has already established an engagement advantage. But in accounts where there's engagement with no purchase intent, one can always focus on deepening engagement and catalyzing purchase intent so you're positioned as the early favorite vendor. Personally, I would even prioritize target accounts with no engagement and no purchase intent over companies with purchase intent but no engagement. I see similar scenarios play out in the brand, marketing, and sales experience all the time. Companies focus so much on gaining competitive advantage through performance optimizations to their blocking and tackling that they end up fighting for inches instead of yards. In many ways, we are all fine-tuning stock machinery. We have truly reached the point of diminishing returns. And without significant changes to our mindset about sales and marketing, costs will continue to increase as performance continues to decline. Technological determinism and process assimilation. When did marketing become more about doing the same things a little better than everyone else and less about doing different things that set us apart? I know the answer to that, actually, he says, absently adjusting his glasses. The cause is rooted in technological determinism, or the notion that technological innovations have unintended consequences beyond their intended scope. The current state of sales and marketing in the tech sector is a direct result of the introduction of software as a service solutions. That incredible technological innovation meant that everyone would have access to relatively cheap customer relationship management, CRM, systems. And as much as the vendors of those systems loved to promote their endless points of differentiation, the truth is that every major sales and MarTech system, then and now, was based on the same linear customer acquisition model. A funnel, a pipeline, a journey. Therefore, inside every cereal box was a surprise gift of process and culture assimilation. And so around the turn of the century, we all began a migration towards sameness. So why is your sales and marketing ship broken? Why are you forced to spend more each year on eroding results? Let me spell it out. Everyone is using the same blocking and tackling strategies. More companies are spending more money in the same ways. That puts upward cost pressure on inventory-restrained media. Why does a click cost so much? And downward pressure on performance. And all the while, the poor customers, remember them, have become the target of more sales and marketing nags in a single day than they used to experience in an entire month or more. Think people out there are muting us? You betcha.